And we're back again, baby. I think I missed a video last week, so I wanted to do two. And I didn't plan on making the second video, but something interested me this week at the DC fandom thing that they had, showing off all the movies and all the trailers and whatnot. We're going to talk about Gotham Knights. Not too long, because I don't really have much to say. Again, it's another one of those games that just looks all right. But I'm a little bit more hopeful for this game because it looks very similar to the Arkham series. Now, whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But let's talk about it. Okay? Now, I'm no expert, so don't take my word with a grain of salt. I didn't know what the hell this game was. I don't know why the hell we needed it. And after watching the video, I still don't know why the hell we need that game. But they're making it anyway. Now, when I was playing the Arkham games way back when, and they started introducing really cool tag team segments with characters in the game, I kept thinking to myself, it would be so freaking awesome if Catwoman could be your online player, another player online. If Robin could be another player online. If Nightwing could be another player online. That shit would have been so cool because you're doing some crazy things in those games. And the fighting style, the combat, oh, amazing. I really love that free-flowing combat, you know? And to see that they had little elements like that in this game and the co-op element is going to be a big thing, that's awesome. I actually really like that idea. And I think that's all I have to say that's good about the game. We've seen the combat before, we've seen the stealth before. Okay, yes, it's awesome that they're going to be, hey, look, you and your friend can both strategize on how you want to take down a certain area. Are we gonna go guns blazing? You know, I guess unironically because they don't use guns. But anyway, like that's gonna be really cool. But what is up with the level gating? Why are games doing this so often? You can't make a meaningful, impactful product that makes me want to spend time in it without you having to pad the shit out of it? Are you serious? My friend sent me this video and he goes, dude, and last time I checked, he hasn't played the Arkham games. He sent me this video and he goes, tell me what you think is wrong with this. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh, okay, all right, let me take a look. And I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh, it's a co-op game. All right. That's interesting. Looks very much like like the Arkham games. The graphic style is a little different, but what's going on? Wait, what the fuck? What the? Is that a number 10 above his head? This better not mean what I think it means. Oh, hell no. And it was. I just sat there, I went, God damn it. What are they doing? What are these people doing? Just because you can invite your friends to a game doesn't mean you need to start making like level 20 enemies are taking fucking 20 minutes to take down and he's like an ordinary thug. Like, what is going on, man? Why do we need game systems like this? Oh my Lord. Unbelievable. I don't know. This is just for padding. And you know what? When you don't have a captivating story, when you don't have good progression that makes people want to keep playing your game, when you don't have these things, this padding gets in the way. 9 times out of 10, if you don't nail the gameplay loop, if you don't nail the story beats, why the fuck am I gonna come out here and spend 10 hours grinding out because Mr. Freeze is level 27 and I'm level 5? However that works. Oh my god. I just don't understand it. No, sorry, I do understand it. I just don't know why people keep doing this shit as if it's going to be a good thing. And here, the developer said something around the ending of this demo when you're fighting Mr. Freeze. And he goes, the more you level up, the more the enemy's going to level up. So, this is not me saying this. This is the guy saying this. The guy says, if you fight Mr. Freeze at level 5, he's going to be a completely different boss at level 15. Okay. Like, more health, more damage? Well, yes, but also more attack animations. He's going to have different patterns to be mixing your ass up. And I went, what? Why would you do that? How about you make a damn good boss fight that requires me and my partner to really think about how we should take this dude down? Don't level gate that. How do you even review a game like that? How do you even objectively review a game like that if you and I are having two different experiences because you're higher level than me? You're seeing things that certain characters are doing that I didn't even know characters could do. Wouldn't that essentially rob you of the entire experience? A boss fight for you could just be simple. Oh, it's very monotonous, very repetitive. Meanwhile, fucking John Doe over here is level 56, and Mr. Freeze has like an insta-kill move, and he's getting like decimated. There'd be like 100 bloodstains if this was like a Dark Souls game on the floor. Because John Doe's like, he's like impossible to fight now. Now that's just taking it. Now that's obviously a very extreme example. And we know it's not going to be like that. But how do you review a game if you are getting two different experiences from it, right? Typically, when reviewers get games, they play the game on the recommended setting, which is normal, right? So that means if I play the game on hard, I'm getting a different experience from the rest of the group that's playing on normal. The game is tougher. The Last of Us 2 was a lot longer for me than it was for people playing on normal. I had to replay a few sections. You know, it took a lot longer to beat certain areas because my resources were a lot lower. Right? But the damage being dealt was a lot higher. The enemies were more aware, like little things like that. You have to review the game on an even playing field. If this game naturally gives the AI more prowess to do things at higher levels, like no one's going to be doing this shit the same way. No one's going to be having the same experience. It sounds great on paper, but to me, I'm like, what the hell? And it also defeats the purpose of leveling up. If everybody else is leveling up with you, are you really getting stronger? What the fuck? A grunt should not have the ability to one-shot me 30 hours into the game. I'm just going to say it like that. It may not be that bad, but when you tell me these, when I see level gating, I'm like, oh my God. It used to piss me off when I was playing The Witcher 3 and I had master crafting, grandmaster gear. This shit took forever to grind for. And yet I'm still sweating bullets when I got a bandit camp and an arrow flies out and half my health goes missing. There's a problem. I'm like, I just I just put 400 hours in this game. How the hell is Jeremiah taking my ass out? He's got no clothes on. He's got a rusty ass sword. And Geralt's arm just got chopped off. It makes no sense. I don't like things like that. Now, The Witcher 3 didn't do it that often, but it happened often enough where I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. This Grandmaster gear, only the top level monsters should be giving me a problem. But the normal dudes were whooping my ass too. Now, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It makes that leveling thing, it just makes it redundant. And you know what? They also dropped a Suicide Squad trailer for the game by Rocksteady, and I'm wondering if this game is Suicide Squad going to be in that like that as well? Because from what I'm to understand, it will be online co-op as well. Will it be level gated? I hope not, guys. It doesn't make any sense. I was talking to my friend about this yesterday. Like when you're playing these superhero games. And Marvel Avengers goes into this category too, by the way, because they're also doing the leveling system. And you're like, what the fuck? I shouldn't have to level if I'm the Hulk. Why the hell does the God of Thunder have to be level 15 to be dealing damage? No way! Whoever thought of this, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it. Ban all of his social media accounts, is what I'm saying. I'll say that. This person needs to be a pariah, because that's ridiculous. That is utterly ridiculous. The Hulk's already unbelievably, undeniably strong. And you mean to tell me this guy whooped Thor's ass in Ragnarok? A God of Thunder. Hulk. And you mean to tell me that some AIM robot that has an electric shield is going to come out here and knock the Hulk out? You have to revive his ass? Captain America gets his head slammed up against the table. Bam! Your ass is going back to the loading screen, having to restart checkpoints. Are you shitting me? Because the thing is, what, 2 levels higher than you? No. That does not make any sense. And even playing with a co-op partner, like you're fucked if you play this by yourself. Like that's what this also means. Because Marvel Avengers, I forgot to mention that in that video, that game is not going to be a fun experience if you're playing by yourself. And neither is this game. You're going to be wailing on these enemies forever in a gameplay loop that isn't that great. It's not as seamless. It doesn't flow that well. Marvel Avengers has like this finisher system where it's like, hey, you press triangle and circle together. You can do like a cool little finisher animation. That shit doesn't matter. It didn't kill anybody. You had to do like 2, 3 in a row to get rid of somebody. And that's because of the level gating. They were at the same level, so you were just doing basic damage. Superheroes shouldn't have to grind. Okay? Now, the example I was going to mention before with my friend, and I was telling my friend the other day, I said, look, when you're playing these Arkham games, right? Yes, you had abilities and you had skill points to help you unlock things, to let you traverse around, let's say Arkham City a lot quicker, Gotham a lot quicker. You have things to make combat easier. You know, you're getting more abilities. You can throw 3 batarangs at a time now. You can take down dudes with knives instantly. Like, these are all abilities that you can learn in the game. But they weren't entirely necessary from what the other half of the community was saying. Oh, you just go in, you just press square and triangle. This game is so simple, it's so boring, it's so bland. So by all their definitions, you don't have to level up for shit in those games because you can beat it pressing square and triangle. And you start with those at the beginning of the game. And those are not my words. You can read that shit to this day in those forums, in those videos, go check. I played those games. I did not play them like that. I was whooping fools. Freezing them up with grenades. Detonating their own electronics. Snapping their batons in half. Shoving it up their asses. Batman was doing this. Okay, that was a little crazy. I don't remember Batman doing all that. Not the baton one. But you had all these tools to do things. And the combat always worked in Batman's favor. As long as you hit that button first, as long as you did the correct thing, a bigger enemy's coming at your ass. And you stun cape him. Because he's known, that enemy type is known to take hits before you stagger him. You have to cape stun him. As long as you did the right thing with Batman every time, he has the upper hand every time. Batman. Not the thugs. And that was part of the free-flowing combat. That's what made it so freaking amazing. No matter what you did, as long... I explained it to my friend like this. If you were at the end of the game, and you were facing what was universally acclaimed as the toughest room, the toughest enemy gauntlet known out of all three games. This room killed me so many times. I got so angry. I broke 3 controllers, punched a hole through my wall, kicked my dog. But you understood the fundamentals of the game, and you utilized everything in Batman's power, you could walk out of that room unscathed. And you would feel like a complete badass. And you know what? Some of those enemies will go down in one fucking strike. The normal ass thugs, right? The guys with a little bit more armor to them, they might take a little bit more. It makes sense because you're seeing it in the gameplay. You're seeing that, hey, look, same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. Yes, we're fighting spearmen. Like by the end of the game, you would have seen all the enemy variations, but they're tougher to kill because they're more armored. Like you see it in the game. It's not like, hey, these are like your ordinary guys. No, Ghost of Tsushima likes to throw ordinary dudes at you around the end game, and you know what? Jin doesn't have time for that. Guy doesn't even pull his sword out. He just fucking upchucks him. Knocks him right the hell out. He's so goddamn strong by the end of that game. These dudes don't even stand a chance. You're like, oh, you peasant. Big on fool. Jin flicks his hand, the fucking wind like knocks his ass 50 feet in the air. There is a smart progression system in those games. But imagine in that Batman scenario, how much anguish, how much frustration you would have if every enemy had a number system above their head and your gear was underleveled. Your skills were non-existent. They were not up to par, and you were dealing lackluster damage. That fight was taking so much longer, and you had no choice but to go back and grind in a Batman game. Are you serious? And this is what they're doing now with these major titles? This is what's going to help Gotham Knights? This is what Gotham Knights is going to do? Oh my gosh, man. I don't know who's thinking of this. Who is thinking of this? And why did everyone in the boardroom think this was a great idea? Like, are they planning on monetizing this shit? Like boosters that you can get to help you deal extra damage or earn more XP or have greater loot drops and shit like that? What is happening here? Because unfortunately, even when you're playing with your friends, if you're sitting there and it's not meant to be like, it's not supposed to be a grind heavy game. Like you're playing Monster Hunter, you know, from the dawn of Monster Hunter, just the kind of game it is. Like you can tell it's in the fucking title, Monster Hunter. Like you're gonna be out there stalking prey, analyzing the environments. Like you know the time it takes to get stronger in that game is going to be, it's going to be, that's gonna be the fucking mission. Like that's half the mission. That's like the entire premise of the game. You just grinding shit out to be strong enough to take on elder dragons and shit. And I don't even play Monster Hunter that much. I tried out Generations. It was a good game, not really my cup of tea, but a couple of my friends, they like the grind, they love it. But the grind makes sense in that game. I never got mad at it for that. I didn't. Because that's the kind of game it was. Gotham Knights doesn't need to be grind heavy game. Are you serious? You don't have to level gauge shit in a game like that. You shouldn't. I'm telling you, that will be a big goddamn downfall. And where the part that really burns about that is the fact that it doesn't look like a horrible game. It does not. It doesn't look like a horrible game at all. But that aspect alone, it's gonna kill it, man. It is gonna kill it. If you disagree, please let me know why. Let me know why. Because I'm not trashing the game completely. I'm trashing that mechanic. It doesn't work in all games. And when it does, those games are usually very well done. The execution is just like spotless. God of War did it, but God of War, the way it did that, everything else about it was so captivating that you were just playing the game naturally. And you felt like you were just getting stronger. You didn't have to do extra challenge. You didn't have to do the extra shit. You could have just went through with the story and you would have been completely fine. People are beating the game just throwing the fucking axe. Okay? It works for some games. But they have to be done and executed perfectly for it to work. Unfortunately, I don't know if a game like Gotham, I don't know if these guys are going to be able to pull that off, man. I don't know. I'm hopeful for it, but I don't want to see other games getting into this groove. I don't want Suicide Squad to be part of that gameplay loop. Because if it's going to be online co-op and it's being made by Rocksteady, I want to play that game with my friends. I really fucking do. That's going to be so goddamn cool. If they end up doing it in the same style as Arkham, but a little differently because now they got so many different, like they got the different characters and shit. Oh, I'm hopeful for it. I really am. But if they take that route, oh my god, I think I'd buy it because it's Rocksteady, and I have faith in them to do it correctly. But again, they've already proven their worth with 3 amazing games. These guys, who the hell's making this game again? Gotham Knights? I forgot. Whoever's making it, I don't have that much faith in them. I just don't. It looks fine, but that level gating shit, we need to stop throwing that stuff in our games. We just do. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching. And until the next video, take it easy, and we'll play and talk more another day.